This show is clean, pretty much.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 630. It's Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today, Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer, plus the return of the much-loved feature Kathy's Corner, where we talk to my neighbor Kathy Spaeth about life, the universe, and everything. And we find out about a lady running for a seat in California, and she has Rush Limbaugh to thank. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I have to tell you, last time we did the show, someone ran into the house and it stank. Mike's Daily Podcast. They ran into the last place on earth, and of course that was Justin Bieber. And I think that we all can say I like golden retrievers and I like my dog Basil. But yesterday I got the bill for having him, and it makes me fill up with such rage when I see how much I have to pay. Mike's Daily Podcast. $280 for having Basil off the leash. That's ridiculous. And it makes me go, yeesh. Mike's I was in an area, as I described previously, podcast that has dogs off leash. Yeah. They allow you to have the dogs off leash. And this one area was a little bit murky. Now, I went back to the brochure on this park. This park is called Oyster Bay Regional Shoreline, and it's in San Leandro, not too far from Podcastro Valley, California. And they say dogs can be off leash in undeveloped areas. So I guess as soon as I stepped on a paved road, that is considered developed, and I am worthy of getting a $280 ticket. I, quite frankly, was not as shocked because someone told me that it could have been $500, but still I'm weighing my options. Should I debate this since the area that I was in is so murky as far as the laws go? Should I debate this because one of the officers was kind of rude to me? Should I debate this because that's still a lot of money? I don't know. You should email me and let me know. MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. Weigh in on this situation. I would love to hear from you. MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. But also, I would like to share with you, Barry Gibb, the guy who, I think he's the last member of the Bee Gees still alive, and he outlived his brother Andy Gibb by many years, whom I saw Andy Gibb perform in the Pirates of Penzance with my grandmother back in like the 70s at the, the Mark Taper Forum, somewhere there in Los Angeles in their music center. The first show I ever saw at the music center in Los Angeles, and there was Andy Gibb. So he died very, very young, and Barry Gibb has outlived all of his brothers, and now he's touring solo. And I was talking to this Barry Gibb fan and told her about an interesting story he recently revealed on the Jimmy Fallon show. He saw Paul McCartney at the Grammys last Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And it was the first time he had talked to Paul McCartney since like 1963 or
oh my gosh.
67, because the Bee Gees came out in the 60s, but they sounded more like the Beatles back then, and then it wasn't until the 70s when they went more disco.
Wow.
And he said he was doing the show with his brothers, the Bee Gees, and Paul McCartney came to watch, and he said they did the worst show. He said he felt so bad that Paul McCartney of the Beatles saw them at their worst.
Oh, no.
So he still brings that up. That was funny because he was on Jimmy Fallon on Monday, and he brought that up. He's like, yeah, it's the last time I had seen him was back in the 60s. So that was an interesting story. Yeah.
Oh, how funny. Well, yeah, I taste Jimmy Fallon every night. I just haven't caught up to watch it, so I'll go home and watch it tonight.
Yeah, you might as well, because he's going to be taking over the Tonight Show, and you can say, hey, I remember when he was on later than he is now. The Bee Gees actually started in 1958, to be more correct. And this also wanted to tell you that the door is opening. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, the shop supervisor. I really like the Bee Gees. Do you have all their albums? They had quite a career, didn't they? Yeah, Mike Matthews, I really like that song called One. Oh, the one they did back in the 80s? Yeah, Mike Matthews, I only like that song because you're singing that all the time. Oh, baby, you and I should be one. Yeah, it's a great one. Oh, look who else just walked into the last place on Earth. Hi, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, you should really answer your cell phone whenever I call you. Well, sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I can't answer it. But why do you put that pressure on me? Because when you don't answer your phone, you're missing out on big things. Like the last time you didn't answer the phone, I was talking to a very old man. Oh, that sounds interesting. Yes, and the time before that, I was talking to an even older man. Well, I'm missing out on all the big stuff. And before that, I was talking to... An even older man? No, I was talking to a really young Benedict Cumberbatch. In fact, he just walked in. Oh my God, Benedict Cumberbatch! Oh my gosh! Such a big fan. I watched all the Sherlocks. They're great. Thank you, Mike. I am very happy that you've watched my shows and that you sat through the very long episodes that we have on the BBC. Yes, it's so... They're like little movies. It's so fantastic. Although the last one I watched, I got a little confused. With I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll get in about a week. I'll spoil it because I'll give people enough time to watch it. But there was something that just did not work logically, and I think even you, Sherlock Holmes, would be upset by the logic in this. I'm not Sherlock Holmes. I'm Benedict Cumberbatch. This is so fascinating. What a mystery we have solved today. This is another mystery. That someone like Rush Limbaugh could launch the political career of someone who wants to be a Democrat? What? Yes. Someone that Rush mentioned on his show and called her a slut, Sandra Fluke, the one that was the birth control activist. And then Rush called her a slut, and then that made everyone go, oh my gosh, what a sexist pig Rush Limbaugh is. Oh, but we all knew that already. But Sandra Fluke is now seeking the endorsement of the California Democratic Party as she prepares for a campaign to replace retiring Representative Henry Waxman, according to dailycaller.com. However, her spokesperson says that the filing with the Democratic Party in California is a procedural step. Quote, it does not mean she's definitely running. It was a procedural step she had to take with the state party if she would want to be considered for their endorsement. It is not indicative of a final decision. In other news, I had nothing else to say about that. Just that Rush Limbaugh, watch out, because Sandra Fluke will become president, and then she'll stop the fracking, and then there will be no more electricity to run all the stupid radio stations that carry your show. Follow that logic to its... See, that's what you need to do, Sherlock. I am not Sherlock. I am Benedict Cumberbatch. Right. So this might be something that the Bay Area, where the show originates from, needs to consider with the upcoming Super Bowl for next year. No, not even next year, the year after that. 2016, when we'll be calling it 2016 by then, because we'll have been so sick of saying the word thousand over and over again. Bay Area is going to be hosting the Super Bowl then. So are we prepared for all the people that are going to be there? Because, well, MetLife Stadium in New Jersey had some problems. Yes, this past Sunday, huge crowds of fans sweated out packed train stations, some even passing out outside of MetLife Stadium, and waited for hours to return to New York City with fewer parking spots and no drop-offs allowed at the stadium there. The local transit system was overwhelmed as a record 33,000 fans rode trains to the game, more than double what organizers had estimated. Officials here in the Bay Area are already working on how to transport about 75,000 attendees between the new 49ers stadium in Santa Clara and hotels in San Francisco, which will be ground zero for a week of pregame activities. Hey, wait about what about us people here in the East Bay? We got no way to get down to Santa Clara. public transportation-wise. BART only goes as far as Fremont. Are you guys going to have BART running all the way down to Santa Clara by then? I don't think so. That probably is not going to be finished till the next century. Slow pokes, get on that. Oh, but it also says in this article in the mercurynews.com, fans from the East Bay can take BART to the Fremont station and ride a VTA express bus the rest of the way. Okay, I hope you guys have a lot of buses ready. And I'd like to bring this up real quick. Philip Seymour Hoffman, of course, passed away. Very sad. He just been in so many great movies. My favorite, none of the news stations have mentioned this movie, but I loved him in Pirate Radio. And him playing like this old burnt-out American DJ sitting on this ship in the 1960s, broadcasting all the rock that was coming out back then, what we call classic rock today. But his death has pointed out heroin use has gone up 100% in the United States since 2007. This according to dailymail.co.uk. More than 660,000 Americans used heroin in 2012. Also, they point out the resurgence is attributed to a crackdown on illegal pill mills producing prescription drugs like OxyContin, which gives the same high as heroin. It says here, pill addicts have turned to heroin because it's cheaper and available, popular in rural and suburban areas, not just the inner city. Users buying single hits can buy it for as cheap as $8, and drug cartels are pushing even larger amounts across the southwestern border. So since this show has to do with culture today, I thought I would point that out. It's a very scary bit of our culture today in the United States. And maybe losing such a promising, wonderful actor will make us all think more about it. What do you think about it? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. We read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me there if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. And I got a website called mikesdailypodcast.com. Hey, it's named after the show. And there's links to where to listen to the show in iTunes. Subscribe to the show in iTunes, and you'll get it as soon as I make it. And you can rate and comment the show on the show, and more people find out about the show if you do that. There's also links to where to find us on Facebook. In fact, like the Facebook page, and when I post a new show, you'll get it in your news feed. Share the new shows with your friends on Facebook, and more people will find out about us if you do that. There's also links to where to find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, Yelp, and Twitter. Also on MikesDailyPodcast.com, there is a link to the Amazon deal of the day. If you buy something through that link, only through our website, you will be able to help support the show. And finally, there's the blog and the daily podcast picture there at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Mike on Mobile.
All right, it's Mike on Mobile here. I'm at Kathy Spaeth's house and Matt Lynn's house, and this is Kathy's Corner. I'm sitting in Kathy's Corner, where she's done a segment on the show called Kathy's Corner.
Kathy's Corner.
Da-da-da-da-da, Kathy's Corner.
We're watching the Super Bowl. I'm surrounded by their daughter, Fiona. How old is she now?
2.
She's 2. I have Keegan, the golden retriever. He's sniffing. He's good friends with Basil, the boxer. Kathy Spaeth, what do you think of this game so far? What happened? It looks like they decided that.
Oh no, they reversed it. He gets charged with timeout. It's been a crazy game so far. The what is it? Not a touchback, but the safety. The safety in the very beginning of the game was very exciting.
Oh, okay.
2 points.
So Seattle's ahead right now.
By 2 points. Hey, there's my cousin, Stephen Hauschka.
That's your cousin from Seattle?
Well, I grew up in Seattle. I don't know where he's from, but he got his degree in dentistry. So when he stops being a kicker, at least he can be a dentist.
And he just made a point.
Hooray! Oh, there's a flag.
A false start. Oh. So Matt and Kathy are laughing at me because I know nothing about football. So they're suffering me, and that's okay. I'm glad they are. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely, anytime. You're always welcome to the corner.
Kathy's Corner. So I made some guacamole today, which is just avocados, a little bit of salsa, and some lemons from my Meyer lemon tree in my backyard.
It's spicy and good, but not too spicy. I enjoyed it.
Can you handle it for a gringa?
Yeah, you should taste my chili later. It's pretty spicy.
Ooh, yeah.
I made homemade chili for everybody to eat and enjoy.
Oh, yay, homemade chili for Super Bowl Sunday. So the score is 5-0 now. Seattle beating the crap out of the Broncos. Do you think in the real world a Seahawk could battle a Bronco and who would win, if there were actual animals?
That's the most ridiculous question.
Because I'm imagining that what would happen, I think the Seahawk could come in and poke the Bronco's eyes out and then kind of push it off a cliff. You think that would?
It's feasible. It's feasible. I mean, at least the Seahawk, which is an eagle, has the ability to fly away.
That's true.
So it would win by default because it would leave.
I don't want to fight to the death. I'm just going to leave. I think I've used that strategy before. So thanks for having me here. And do you want to, while we're in commercials, do you want to mention your Star Trek convention outing?
I could go on and on about it, but it was really fun down in San Francisco and saw Jerry Ryan in person. That was exciting. And I touched... Oh.
Can you say it again?
Go Seahawks!
Go Seahawks!
Oh, Fiona said go Seahawks. Yay. Is she 2.5?
Yeah, you're 2 years old, huh?
2 years.
She was 2 in December.
Wow. Okay. So, yes, and I remember when she was just in your body.
That's true. That happened, and then she came out of my body. It was very exciting.
And that the size that she's at right now, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. There's nothing like being 9 months pregnant to want to go through the pain and agony of childbirth.
Oh. She's so smart, though. Fiona, you're so smart. And she's talking away, and I'm getting all the inside scoop on what's going on in the Super Bowl game because of her.
I think that you and she may have a comparable level of football knowledge.
Yay! Maybe she has a little more, and I can ask her questions. So, I can't wait to try the chili, and when you hear this, everybody, the game will be over, and you'll all know the score. But at least you got a little glimpse of what the Super Bowl was like in 2014 at Kathy's Corner. And now I'm going to eat the rest of the guacamole and watch the rest of the game. Thanks for being on the show, Kathy. And here comes the big kick. And the ball flies out of the stadium and it lands on Chris Christie's head. So that was weird that happened. Oh yeah, and we real quick, what's the name of because you've lost so much weight. What's the name of the workout group you're with?
Oh, Be Fit for Moms. It's Balanced Fitness for Moms, and Tiffany Dacko runs it, and it's a really great program, and I recommend it to anybody. It's a lot of high-intensity interval training, and it's really great. I'm really strong. It's awesome.
You are really strong. Is that in Oakland, or is that local, closer to Podcastro Valley?
It's in Oakland, and I did that for a while, and now I'm working out with her still on the weekends, but also at the Castro Valley Community Center, and there's a women's group there too. Sorry, that was my message. Sorry. But yeah, they're cool too.
Yay! Wow, see, because seriously, that's great when you got a workout group that you enjoy. And the results are amazing with what Kathy has done, and she's not taking weird chemicals.
That is absolutely true. I'm actually devoid of chemicals. I'm trying to also eat clean, so I'm not eating anything that's processed.
Yay, thanks for letting me shove my iPhone in your face, and there's this weird hair sticking out of it. And did you see the back of my iPhone?
I did see the Doctor Who police box. It's really, really awesome.
Yay! Yeah. And it's from your favorite era, the David Tennant era.
David Tennant's the best Doctor Who. Although I really like Matt Smith too. He's grown on me, but David Tennant, there's just a certain something about him.
Peter Capaldi, that'll be interesting.
Very much so. I'm intrigued.
And Colin Ferguson, the guy who does that show on CBS, the Late Late Show, he used to be in a band with Peter Capaldi. They were in like a punk rock band in the 70s.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I learned all these interesting facts from you, Mike Matthews.
That's why Colin Ferguson has a TARDIS sitting on his desk on his show.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And he's had on everyone from the show, Matt Smith, the redhead lady, what's her name? Catherine, I think he's had Catherine Tate.
Dr. Ghana.
The one that played Amelia Pond.
I don't remember her name, but she's like super awesome. She's right up there with Rose for me. Amy Pond was an awesome companion. And
Julie, is it Jennifer Coleman? Julie, I can't think of the new one, the shorter brunette.
She's lovely.
She's a hot little Brit. Okay, well, we could go on and about Doctor Who, but I'm sure most of my audience doesn't even know what the hell a Doctor Who is. It's actually a question in and of itself. And the ball has been retrieved from Chris Christie, and he got a bear catch. The guy... Is that called a bear catch?
A fair catch. It's when you tell everybody, I'm going to catch it, don't run into me. I'm catching it. I'm not running.
Oh, okay. That's what that means. I would do that all the time because I wouldn't want large 300-pound bodies flying into me. That would be... Oh, well, I don't know what this hair is on my smartphone. What is this a commercial for?
Who knows? A movie?
There's like a lot of people driving fast.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh, okay.
That's from Furious 27.
45.
Okay, it's an entrancing... my brain's been blown up. Oh, Need for Speed. Thank you for wasting my time, Need for Speed commercial. Back to you, Mike. That's the end of my recording you.
Okay.
That was all of 8 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Wow. Excellent. Seattle Seahawks. Well, Kathy's cousin that plays for them did a lot at that game. Actually helped them get quite a few points too. And as you know, yeah, that game went really well for the Seattle Seahawks. But at that point, what we were watching, it was like, well, Peyton Manning, they could come back. It's so early in the game, anything could happen. As we go outside the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is a drawing with the disgruntled fiddle player he happens to be out here right now.
Yeah, Mike, I'll tell you what, I hope that girl Sandra Fluke, whatever her name is, don't make it into the Congress, because I don't want her to be president, because she's a
Don't say it.
She's a slappingly beautiful woman.
And you don't want slappingly... What is that even? That's not even an adjective. Doesn't even sound like a good adjective anyway to describe someone that's beautiful.
I'm a little off today because my beautiful wife Benita the rodeo queen ain't here.
She's your anchor. She helps to balance you out.
Yeah, kinda. And she slaps me from time to time because I need it.
Slappingly?
Yeah, okay, full circle.
So you, in this drawing, are helping me out because I am trying to understand dating websites. I used the free dating website called OkCupid, and well, I've had some mixed results with that. I've actually met someone once, had coffee with someone. That was a fun experience. We talked for 2 hours. She was really nice.
That's great, Mike. You could talk for 2 hours. But thankfully on today's show, you're only going to talk for about 25.
Thank God for that. So we'll see. We'll look at the cartoon and see how the disgruntled fiddle player helps me out with online dating there at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST-Culture-2-4-14.
Mike Matthews, when you meet a woman, you should sing them that beautiful Bee Gees song that you like to sing.
Someday, baby, you and I will be one.
Yeah, I love that song like so much.
Why do you like it?
It's like romantic.
It's got a nice drum machine behind it, too.
Yeah, I love those.
Tomorrow we will bring you the segment called Wow Shuts Wow. Plus we'll hear from Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player. We'll be back again.
Yay for me.
And we'll hear from the brewmaster.
So, Mike, seriously, you should answer your phone when I call because important people like Benedict Cumberbatch could be there ready to talk to you.
You're right. It was so great having Benedict here. Thanks for being here, Benedict.
Yes, Mike, I really enjoyed it.
How come he sounds just like you, only with like a British accent, John Deere?
I have no idea.
And how come the disgruntled fiddle player just sounds like you with a southern accent?
That ain't true. I'm a person unto myself.
Unto yourself?
Yeah, I'm a person only me.
Right.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
$280. Thanks, Basil.